And now we go to the theater mode. Oh, here we go. Oh my gosh. Are you ready for BMW's new interpretation of pure luxury? Here it is, the all-new BMW i7, which also marks the birth of the new generation overall of the BMW 7 Series. And no matter if petrol, diesel, plug-in hybrid, or here the all-electric i7, they all built on the very same platform, will look more or less the same. So it's just then the different drivetrain. And we'll tell you all the details here with Thomas and Auto. Look at that here, the new front. Is that even a double kidney or what is it? It's, no, it looks like it's really almost the whole car. And you can see here you can also get this illumination around here. Very cool with the frame. Vertical fins here at the moment they're closed because you do not always need the cooling. Here in the i7 you have the blue horizontal strip. You can also depick the blue strip when you say like, I want to hide that I'm driving the i7 or just want a more clean look. However, the logo will always feature the blue ring if it's the all-electric version. Really slim LED signature here, and this is an option here, Swarovski crystals for a more unique look. And underneath here we have the LED main headlamp unit, of course, with adaptive and matrix function. There's an air curtain right here. The air is being channeled right there. And towards the side profile, look at that here. These are the 21-inch wheels. They have the BMW individual style, so you can pick different styles, of course. And you can get the wheels from 19 to maximum 22 inch. So this is maybe like a good compromise. The length is 5.39 meters or 212 inches. That means it's 13 centimeters or 5 inches longer than the so far long wheelbase version, or which would be the standard version for the US. But the big news is there is no short wheelbase or long wheelbase anymore. This is always the very same length and wheelbase for everyone, for the whole world. Engines will differ from market to market, soon more to that. You can see here, this will be very interesting. Really integrated these door handles. You can either open them like this or then here with the automatic opener. I will show that in the interior. This will be very exciting. And here towards the rear, upright window style. Then you have this, this triangle look. This is a new design scheme, definitely. And here towards the shoulder line or the hip line here in the rear, you can see this main design line, and you can also get a two-tone paint for this vehicle actually, and then the upper part here would be in a different color, so that might look pretty fancy. And then here in the rear also, beginning here, very slim also from the signature i7 badge, and a very clean design overall. Also in the rear part, once again the blue accentuations, and only the 8-cylinder petrol will get real exhaust tips. Then anything else is then underneath, like the visible exhaust tips. What about the trunk? Let's directly take a look at it. 500 liters or 540 liters for the combustion engine version. So this one a little bit slimmer, but actually it's not too small. You can also get optional a ski hatch. Underneath you have space for your charging cable. The length, about 1.10 meters or 43 inches. And let's take a look at the width, which is less than 1 meter or 40 inches. So about 90 centimeters in the back part or 35 inches. So like in this area, of course, a little bit wider here. And the height, 50 centimeters or 20 inches. Adaptive air suspension is standard for all models, and option you can also get rear axle steering, also in combination with the anti-roll control. Will it have a frunk here in the i7 version? It does not, but they house a lot of electric components then underneath this cover here. So as for the engine setup, this will be very exciting. So first of all, the all-electric version, the i7, I haven't broken it. It will either come with a rear electric motor only for an entry version, or then all-wheel drive, one in the rear, one in the front, as it stands here right now as the xDrive 60. And this one will be less than 5 seconds in the acceleration figure. We also then expect the M70 version here for the i7, and then probably acceleration figure less than 4 seconds. They both will come with a 102 kilowatt hour battery net, and our expectation is some 600 kilometers or 400 miles of range then in good temperatures actually. As for the combustion engines, you will have the 4.4 liter V8, especially for guys in the US, still the classic stuff, and then also the famous 3 liter inline 6-cylinder. And in Europe, we also get the 3 liter inline 6 diesel. The petrol engines will not be sold in Europe actually. Worldwide, once again, just like the all-electric version, there will be plug-in hybrid versions. This one and also, once again, in a sporty version available. Charging with maximum 200 kilowatt DC, and they promise some 180 kilometers or 112 miles in 10 minutes recharging by that. And they also use preconditioning of the battery. And it also does come with a heat pump. Yeah, that's an advantage if you compare it to the Mercedes EQS. This is the car key with this split. Like this, quite elegant, but yeah, high-gloss piano like I use, don't like it that much. Then the door handles, once again, either like this, more the manual way, and you also have here the soft close, like this. And then there's this new feature as an option. You can press it here, and then the car checks, is there someone? No, there's no one, and then it opens automatically like this. And here we can see there's a split, slick surface in the top part, fabric surface in the lower part. Here is also the Bowers Wilkins sound system, so all belongs to that. Yet again, a lot of black piano lacquer use, and this is then the door release. And here, new steering wheel in an IX style with asymmetric form, so to speak, flat bottom. Still real buttons on the steering wheel, a mix, you know, like capacitive here and then real here. Same on the other side. And then we also have a matte open cell wood, that's beautiful. And we have these backlit areas here, different colors. You can also have some animations on there. As for seating, there are two different seat forms available. They don't differ so much visually, but it's a little bit different in the adjustment, so to speak. Here you can see this is still animal skin. This is wool with cashmere wool share, so this is not an animal-free seat at all. But the fabric look is actually quite cool. They could also have achieved the same thing without animal. However, base would be the so-called new Viganza material, and that is actually an animal-free seating then in 4 different colors. And this will be actually standard on all markets. Look at this new cockpit. This is really, yeah, wow, quite sophisticated. Here, open cell wood, nice. Then 12.3 inch left, 14.9 inch on the right. Then you have this illuminated bar here, and it really adjusts to the different My modes. So this is here like expressive mode, but you can also pick a sport mode. Then it turns here like red, and there's more aggressive, sporty atmosphere. So they really thought about this to bring some uniqueness to this interior. Is it maybe too much? But you know, we also had the discussion earlier in the Mercedes EQS. Well, what do you think about this new color screen or color bar? Here, by the way, you can open or close the vents with #capacitive BS. Not a fan of that. But then, like where the vents are coming from, this is like a manual control in the lower part. Here, top part is inductive charging pad. It seems to be like an opening for cooling as well. And then here, cup holders are adaptive. And here you have this crystalline control lever, in this trim at least. So you can still control that while driving. Don't have to use touchscreen all the way. And here is then the shifting lever. My mode control, I've shown you some of the My modes already. And still this, you know, more or less manual volume jog. Then here perforation. The Viganza material, by the way, the animal-free interior will also be perforated like this, will look like this actually. Open this here in the split, more space underneath, 2 USB-C chargers. Of course, the infotainment system is more than My modes. Here, this is then the normal car inbuilt map. And also inbuilt is this climate unit, no real climate knobs available. But for a screen solution, at least it's always right there and it stays there, and it's also not that small. There is also this main menu available either like this, or then you have this app view, but it's a little bit too much, isn't it? It will, by the way, also feature YouTube connectivity, and also level 3 autonomous driving is actually prepared for that already. automatic opening of door or closing of the door from the inside is, by the way, here in this touch area, and then there we go, door opens, and Homer Simpson style, door closes, door opens, door closes, door opens, door closes. And finally, I also have the Apple CarPlay connected. That took a while this time though. Wow, what an integration all the way over the screen. Now OS 8 also features here the Android Auto if you don't have Apple devices. And sound system here, Bowers & Wilkins. Very fine-tuned sound, just subtle in the nuances. Wow, really great. I can recommend the system. Digital instruments, you have different views available. You've also seen the map screen and so on. And you will also be able to change the layout a little bit. In the head-up display, you can also change the contents, what you want to see here. It's actually a very large one indeed. That glass roof, by the way, also features this illumination. So depending also on the mode you are in, it also then changes the color. And by the way, this is the shade, but that's basically it. Now the big question is, this here the i7 or the Mercedes EQS? Well, I mean, technology and range-wise, in summertime, both probably will end up the same more or less. This one here does feature a heat pump. So in wintertime, there will be a range advantage for the BMW. Then as for the exterior, this is of course, personal preference. Me personally would take the i7 as for the exterior because it just looks, let's say, more normal. Still has like the more German look, rectangular design, whereas the EQS is, okay, you know what I mean. So, and then on the interior, the thing is the EQS also has this really fancy ambient lighting, for example, also has a lot of unique features. But then from the whole interior concept, here you also have a lot of things that are kind of like fancy, and maybe some say, that's maybe already too much or something. Is it? I don't know. But from the, from the cockpit layout, how you hold and touch the steering wheel, how the instruments are being oriented and so on, this here, let's say it feels a little bit more old school in comparison to the EQS, because here you also have the rather, strong high hood, for example. So although this one is with equipment with more fancy stuff, it kind of feels still more driver focused than the EQS does. The EQS more like this future glider, and here this combination of Scandinavian living room, but at the same time still ready to be a driving machine. So without having driven it, from what I've seen so far, at this moment, I lean a little bit more towards the i7. What do you think? Getting a lot of light here at the moment, right? Because I'm shining at least once. So, but what about the rear when you also compare like the EQS and the i7 here? I was waiting for Jonas to step away. Maybe. One more time. So, let's see. And now? There we go. And interior, this will be your control central. So yeah, it does also collect a lot of fingerprints, of course, and it will work basically like a smartphone. You swipe it up like this, and then you can control all the things, also seat related and so on. Zoom more details to that. First look here at the rear of the interior. Also once again with this, wool fabric combination and more skin, but this one again also will be available in different trims. High floor mats. Really cool. And you see, it looks quite spacious. Now, as a seat as I would be driving, this is ample of space here. No problem at all, really cool. And headroom-wise, interesting. Also, a lot of headroom with the 1.86 m or 6'1", because once again, that cassette for the panoramic roof is hidden in the front and not in the rear anymore. So that's actually a cool idea. Here you can see once again, a glimpse of that panoramic screen. We will soon fold that down. Look forward to that. So, middle part is pretty stiff, so not to be recommended. You could theoretically drive here short time, but that's it actually. So, and now the real executive position. And if you now compare the rear seating comfort, EQS and i7, This is here a standard seating or rear seating comfort. Oh, with the soft cushions here as well, nice. As you know, like from an S-Class, from a 7 Series and from an Audi A8. With the EQS, it's kind of like a little bit cramped in the rear almost, especially from a seating position. So definitely my verdict that the i7 leads the EQS is being confirmed here, especially here in the rear. The only thing the EQS has better, that it has this fastback rear, which is better usable for the trunk area, whereas here you have the closed off trunk. So what I will do now is have the position where I can, relax a little bit more. And, since we don't want to, I have clean shoes, but still, I think it's more suitable to take off your shoes. I know other reviewers don't do that, but that's why you're here on Autogefühl. So it slides all the way forward. It takes a while, but that's why we're also here live on Autogefühl. And now, put my shoes a little bit more in front. Now I also get this extended area right here that goes all the way up. And it's not just like a small element or something. You see here, it's all the way integrated. That's cool. So that's really awesome. I wish they would have made like an animal-free fabric here as well, because that material feels cool. So then it does fit with my size. So that's like an Audi A8, for example. It's good that they actually made the wheelbase even a little bit longer, and that's really a super comfortable position. So you could work, you could relax right here, no problem. Here in the middle part, by the way, you can, here once again you can see, by the way, the cooling function for the inductive charging pad, that they don't overheat. Then fold this one up, a little more space, USB chargers, and yeah, that's really great relaxing position. But you can do so much more here with this rear control. And now we go to the theater mode. Oh, here we go. Oh my gosh. Here we go. Shades are closing also in the top, and there we go with this new 31-inch 8K screen. Then we also have this animation, and there will be Amazon Fire TV available. There you can also watch YouTube over that, and of course also then the content. So they have this cooperation there. And you see at the moment the screen is still quite close to me. It is basically bound here to the front seat, the driver's seat. So you can really move that screen forward and backward like this. So you could take it closer, but yeah, that maybe then while driving. And here you can also tilt it like this a little bit more. So this maybe, and then let's slide it all the way back. So here we go. So this would probably be the best way to watch it. Then this is actually a quite good distance, and you can maybe then do it like this, start to cuddle here, and then watch some movies together while driving or being stationary. And this would be the maximum cinematic setup. You can see here on the left side, you cannot make this fold flat seat, but you can make it a little bit longer. So then the question is, who will be on the left and who will be on the right? We here at Autogefühl always hunt the details. For example here, a stamped-in 7, the 7 Series here at the B pillar. And already one very secret information for you. With the upcoming facelift in about 2 or 3 years, the BMW double kidney will reach actually into the headlamps. I'm just kidding. Well, I think, with the illuminated frame, it does look quite elegant, although it's so huge. Well, definitely so many features to be discussed. Please join me in the comments. Really looking forward to your feedback. What do you think about the all-new BMW i7? And the most astonishing thing is that they really use this, hey, we make this one vehicle and it is more or less the same no matter if it's electric or with the combustion engine still. Would you go for an i7, or would you still buy it as a petrol or maybe hybrid in between? Well, we'll see about that. This will be a very exciting development. Also compare, if you want to see more luxury EVs, the BMW iX. We have an extensive episode of that. And of course, the main competitor, the EQS. You also heard what I talked about this comparison, but tune in to check it out.